me here, Teresa, to guide you in the nature of the soul. And the nature of the soul is actually an ancient word for zodiac, which is the circle that we look to chart the planets and where they are in the sky. However, in relationship to water energy is the energy of the soul. The energy of the soul is within you. It's your deepest yearnings and desires. And so you know that your yearnings and desires aren't bad. I know, if I don't want to go on that tangent, so I'm just going to interrupt myself and come back here. Yearnings are not just egoic, but they really are the energy that comes through to pull us forward, but it comes from inside. I mentioned the other day that as a teacher, any teacher of any kind, the idea is to draw the light out of you so that soul, that water energy holds that, what it is, your potential that wants to come out. So when we have this ability to go into ourselves and connect to what it is that we want to create, we connect even more to energy. And energy is what we want to be able to tune into and connect with and help guide us in our choices. So there's the difference between being reactive and responsive. So if we can breathe and pause and breathe and pause, we also want to go inward and connect to what's there and understand how the body's processing it. Is it tension? Is it an upset stomach? Is it achy? Is it nauseous? Do we feel just kind of lightheaded or dizzy? Does it feel like the world's spinning? Like all these things are guideposts to help us understand how the wholeness of us are doing. When we are in the element of water, that water is our feeling nature. It is how we can be empathetic. It's how we can have compassion. It's how we can see the need for water to fertilize the earth so beauty can come to the surface. We can also know that water is one of the more powerful elements that traditionally is viewed as weak, because people who cry or people who are overly sensitive are considered weak. However, the water is one of the strongest signs, one of the strongest elements, because it is the energy of your soul. So we have to go in and down, right? We're usually living up and out. So water people are secretive because they're sensitive. They can come off as being somebody who's very peaceful and calm. However, there could be an emotional storm erupting on the inside. And when you can have that compassion to understand that some people appear to have it all together, yet there's so much inside. And the thing about water is they have the capacity to sit in that heaviness that usually is like, oh, if you get dark, it's too much. If you get deep, it's can't be bothered by it. And that chances are you have more fire and more air. Energy and the psychology of you. However, those who are more in tune with water are way more psychic, intuitive, mediums. They can actually channel clear messages that are well timed and able to receive. So what we really want to do is help give boundaries for that water, because water, if it runs into a boulder, it knows how to dance around. Water can put out fire, but water can also, the humidity in the air can stop the wind. Water can also, if fire gets too much, it can turn into steam and reshape itself. So water is one of those, right? Does anybody remember chemistry? A long time ago, or physical science? That water can go from a liquid to a solid to a gas. Pretty cool, right? So in that, the place we connect mainly to water in the body is, yes, in that center of the forehead, the sixth chakra, because that's how we stay in tune. But it's really in that low belly and low back. So we're going to start on our backs today with some pelvic tilt, some movement to wake the core up, because we don't want to be all blah, right? We don't want to spew our emotions everywhere, but when we can actually give us the container to feel within ourselves, feel when we're on overdrive or exhausted or really honestly needing emotional support. So we're going to just work with it in ourselves to give ourselves the emotional support by feeling a relationship with our beings that feels good. So start on your back, knees bent. And as I've initiated for us, hello, she's not moving, is she? You can start with knees bent, feet wide, knees together. If you happen to have a block, I recommend feet wide, knees together block, okay? Otherwise, you could have soles of the feet together, knees wide. This is just for the first few breaths. If you don't have any props, it's totally okay as you lie on the earth, feel held, right? The earth is so important for us. Let your hands come to your low belly, like find your belly button, right? We all actually start life in the element of water. And before we connect to the breath, I just want you to push the belly button towards the floor, flatten the back out, breathe into the back body. Don't overdo anything, you're in charge of you. And then inhale, let the belly fill up, arch the back. And then exhale, pull the belly in. Your buns are gonna hug a little bit, but don't pull the tailbone up off the floor. And then inhale, arch, and then exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And then come to a neutral spine and just feel the movement, how much we have. Wildly enough, the water energy is where we begin our lives, right? In the womb, we're water. We're floating around. When we get up in the morning, the first thing ideally you would do is drink water, or you probably get up and pee, release water, okay? So we work with these energies all day long unconsciously, and my hope is to help you become more conscious, to honor yourself. Let your hands be on your belly, let your chest relax, jaw relaxes. 3 breaths, feeling the physical container with great acceptance and appreciation. Your next breath, calling in the highest version of you. And then coming into your own heart to integrate. And then we're going to do 5 breaths, just breathing with the belly. So as you inhale, keeping the pelvis neutral, just inhale, allow the belly to expand. Exhale, feel the belly hugging in. Inhaling, belly expands, and exhaling, belly draws in. So we're going to get more into this area between the navel and the pubic bone. Inhale, the belly expands. So what we're doing is honor the body, called in the highest, integrated into the heart. Now we're going deeper into ourselves. Exhaling out, 2 more. And our emotions are energy, right? They're the currency of our soul, of our evolution, our ability to evolve and become more. One last time, inhale in and exhale out. They usually show up as triggers. And so what happens is that you're not your trigger, but your trigger is a guide, right? So notice if physically anything's been triggered. If you don't like starting lying on the floor, it's a sunny day, you're ready to be up and out. Just notice what's there. If you have a block, move it out of the way. And then you're going to draw your knees into your armpits. You can hold on to your feet or happy baby, whichever one serves you better. And just get more comfortable in your physical being. And then we're going to bring the right ankle to the left thigh, because our hips, right? Who's ever done yoga before? Oh, your emotions are in your hips. Well, it's because of your psoas. And what we tend to do is go up and out, up and out, up and out. And yoga asks us to go down and in. So breathe into the hips, circle the left ankle around. Keep breathing, but give the breath more room to expand out into the rib cage. And then you're going to exhale the left foot to the ground, right foot to the ceiling. Pull the thigh bone in, draw into the belly, and you're going to make circles, 3 circles, going counterclockwise. And then 3 circles in the other direction. So part of the nature of the soul is gaining the experience of you. Okay? And the experience of you is so powerful, the potential of you, the opportunity for your soul to come alive. Now you're going to point your foot, flex your toes, hold on to the back of the leg, plug the leg down, keep the waistline back, keep the kidneys full, anchor that left leg best you can, and just 3 breaths here. Shoulders to the back, jaws relaxed, breathing into the back body. I promise we'll move more, but when we have water under our feet, when we're going through a lot of change, like we're in the reflection of what the past year has been, we want to find a little stability, and we can feel how the energy as we create the container of our physical nature. So you're going to come into half happy baby. Right, so bend the right knee, draw into the belly, connect to the back body. Left leg stays grounded. If you need to bend the left knee, go for it. Feeling the breath and just watching what's getting triggered in the body. These are guideposts that we can feel in the safety and the trust we hold in our physical practice of yoga. So you didn't know that doing yoga was actually the way to connect to your soul. And then straighten the leg, bend the knee, bring the foot to the earth. Bring the left ankle back up to that right thigh. Stretch your arms out from your shoulders like a capital T and roll the knees. So you can block your right foot wider if need be. I want you to keep the right inner thigh drawing in, pulling into the back waistline all the way into the back of the heart. So guess what? To connect to our heart's truth, our heart's light, we have to go through this core arena. Stretch that right arm by your ear. Anchor the armpit down and then look to the right. So you're breathing into this back body. Right? The rib cage is going to try to pop up. Draw the ribs down. If you need to bring your hand here to feel into it, great. So the nature of the soul includes the elements of earth, air, and fire. But today I'm just focused on water. Inhale, come all the way back through the center. You're going to keep your left ankle where it is. Walk the right foot back to the center. Knees roll. So the more you engage here, the more powerful. The more you connect into what it is you're engaging with and participating with, the more valuable the experience. So your legs are going to roll over to the right. I'm really being mindful of this left rib cage, and the only way I can get the legs down is if my ribs pop up and out, which isn't good for my low back, is what I'm discovering. So keep this connection right here through this left sideline from your hip point to your rib cage. And then breathe into that left rib cage. You can use the left arm by the side. Right hand can come into the side body. Breathe into it. So physiologically, we're focused on the sacral and the low belly. Since we're mainly women, it's the area of your uterus or where your uterus was if you had it removed. Water is the energy that connects us. The wild and beautiful thing is that we were all created in the womb of our moms, which means that we are the energy of our grandmothers. So powerful, so profound. Draw into the core. Inhale all the way back through. Bring your left leg up and then just bend the knee. Pause here. 3 breaths and just feeling the connection through. What we've done is actually clear the flow of energy of the right side, like the river of the right side body. From the sole of the foot, through the leg, through the hip, up through the side body, up through the neck and shoulder, so it can travel all the way back down too. So we're not blocking and keeping that energy stuck. Knees come in, happy baby pose or reclined butterfly. Just feel the reset of the back, of the hips. Bring the right foot to the earth, left ankle to the thigh. Foot rises up. And so when we have tears, and if you have a lot of water energy, tears need to be a friend, not an enemy. Tears are the way we release things. Feel connected to your hips. Laughter is a great release as well. But we need to feel. I don't think anybody is interested in living an empty life. Now, what can happen with people who have a lot of water? Free the right foot to the ground, left leg comes up, draw the belly in, ribs in, and 3 circles, keeping your hips really still. What can happen with people who have a lot of water is they feel for everybody else. And then they have nothing for themselves. Go in the opposite direction. Use that core. This is a true therapeutic practice, but I'm not allowed to say that according to Yoga Lion. So come back to the center. Point the ankle, flex the toes. Hands come to anchor the thigh bone towards the ground, right? Watch the overarching, so pull back into the ribs again. Right knee can stay bent or right leg stretches out long. Shoulders are in the back. Ribs are full in the back body and breathing here. Into that steadiness. So boundaries become essential for water. Water has the ability to create, like think of a waterfall. Right? And just water rushing, plowing. It will change the shape of earth. It's just so fascinating to me, the power of water. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend your knee. Knee draws back, half happy baby. Right leg can stay long or the right knee can bend. So yoga traditionally does all of this at the very end. Which, no offense, but yoga was created by men for men. Just like so many other things in life. So as a person who's calling on a greater embodiment of the feminine, of inviting the sacred into your daily life, of grounding your soul's desires into the reality of the life you're manifesting, we're making a stronger connection at the beginning. This is like, think of this beginning as an assessment of how you're really doing. You're going to bend the knee, return the foot to the earth, Return the right ankle to the thigh. Shoulders are into the back. Knees are going to roll to the right first. Connect to that left side body. Left arm's going to rise up. Anchor the left arm bone down. And then twist the belly to the left, getting a connection from the inner edge of your left foot through your inner thigh into the side body all the way into the back of the heart. It's the way we nourish. And when we illuminate and we become aware, and then we can be a catalyst for that change, then we can nourish and leave a legacy that gives the opportunity for others to reach their potential as well. Inhale all the way back up through the center. Now your legs are going to roll over to the left. So tap into this area, hip points, rib cage. Draw into the belly. Don't just go fly into the next move. Pull back, pause, breathe, connect. Things are changing. We're connecting to the inner landscape of our being, of connecting to how are we engaging in this area. I've mentioned to you before in past classes, this point from the rib cage to the hip point is the energy of the soul. We want to be able to connect with it. Now, physiologically, it's the viscera. Guess what the viscera does? It helps us with our intuitive nature. It's also the area of our gut, the way where we create human beings. However, in that gut energy, guess what? It has more power than the mind itself. So when we can actually realign and recognize this energy, we'll tend to it. We'll drink enough water every day. It's really the secret to life. My husband, a science teacher, would tell you fire is why humans could exist. And I've argued with him that it's because of water that life exists here on Earth. He has more fire in his chart. I have more water in my chart. Draw into the belly. Inhale, come back through the center. Whew. Oh yeah, stretch the leg out. Free the foot and then bring the foot to the ground. Okay, so we're not going to do half happy baby. I have a dog paw under my head. Okay, we're not doing half happy baby this time. You're going to bring both feet to the ground, arms by your side, and we're going to actually, yes, I know this is not yoga-like. We're going to roll the spine out, vertebrae by vertebrae, right up through the center. Knees are pointing forward, legs don't go anywhere, and then roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way back down. You're using your core, right? So as you exhale, roll up, and then inhale, roll back down. 2 more times. Exhale, roll up. Just articulating the spine, getting the core to wake up. Release, roll all the way down. Exhale, drawing in. And so interestingly enough, this area of our body is very dark. It's very weird, right? You got to get ultrasounds. You got to have other people look at it and sonograms. Now you're going to come all the way down, arch the back, stretch your legs out long. We're going to go to that 5-pointed star. So arms go wide, feet go wide, hands are wide. Big breath in. I know, I'm interrupting somebody's nap. She's a little frustrated with me. Keep breathing. Everybody needs a Lulu in my book. She's the sweetest girl, except for she has a little rebellion to her too. Now that you stretch all the way out, just feel how much more alive you are between your hips and your core, which is really grounding right now. Draw the knees into your chest. You can roll over to one side or rock all the way up. Once you come all the way up, we're going to bring our hands back behind our legs, come to your tailbone, draw the belly in, lift the spine, shoulders drawn to the back, and just bring the shins. So we're hugging our legs in close, the shoulders are drawing in, the ribs are drawing down, the head's free. Totally free, totally free. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you take your hands out. We're not... You know, it's really interesting because I've taught for so long. And it's always interesting. It's actually easier on some level just to teach what I want to teach here in my own space. Because when I taught in rooms, and you'd have all this energy, and you'd have so many people bring the feet to the earth, left ankle to the thigh, right leg's either going to stand in front or it's going to cross over. You'd have so many people hungry for these deeper inquiries, right? Like, we need to feed our soul, we need to nourish it, especially as we're like swimming through the mist and the fog. Like, where's the lighthouse that we're aligning with? It's the energy inside of you. And to become more conscious of it. But that's hard for people because it requires you to slow down and feel what sits beneath the surface. And I know if you guys ever did yoga with me, you always knew when that person was there, they just wanted to do the big full expression. They wanted to move fast. And it was always a disruption. So that's just you being sensitive to the energy around you. Draw into the core, lengthen the spine. Right hand comes behind you. Now, we're not going to do a real fierce twist. I don't think I ever do fierce twist. You're just going to hold on to the right knee, pull into the core. So get that core, anchor down, shoulders to your back, and you're going to use the belly to twist. So you're long through that right side. You should be feeling a lot in the back of the left body, back body. Keep drawing the waistline back, shoulders back. It's not going to feel like a big, grand twist. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then inhale, come back through the center. Once you come through the center, lean over to the left hip, bring the right arm to the inside. Once you bring the right arm to the inside, you're going to re-anchor your hip, knee opens out, stretch the right leg out to the side. Bend the elbows, draw into the core, lengthen the spine, and then expand. So we're just doing it seated. I didn't make you doing it lying down. May or may not make you do it standing up, not sure yet. Pull the belly in, shoulders drawn to the back, lift through the crown of the head. Deep, full breath in, deep, full breath out. Inhale, pull the leg back to the center, bend the knee, hook the elbow, free the other leg, hook the elbow. This time have space between your feet. Relax, draw the core in, shoulders to your back, close your eyes. 3 breaths here. Bring your awareness to your belly button. Draw the belly button towards the back body. Breathe into the back body. And then exhale, free the feet. Right ankle comes to the left hip. You're going to either keep the left foot in front of the hip or step it over. Draw into the core, spine's long. Left hand goes behind you. Right arm hooks. So we're filling up here. Right? We're filling up into this line here. Waistline draws back, spine lifts. Shoulders draw into the heart. And then the left side is long, and you're feeling a lot of work through here, through the back line of the arm. And 3 breaths. Yeah, babe. Okay, did you eat your banana? Cheese stick.
No.
No,
Can I have my box thing?
no way, you're gonna wait forever with that. Can you say hi to everybody?
No.
Well, they can see you now. Inhale, come back to the center. Foot comes in. Maybe you can have some crackers. Graham cracker. Leg comes up. You're going to lean over to the right. Left elbow comes to the inside. She's going to slither out. Left elbow comes to the inside. Draw into the belly. Rise up. So keep the knee bent. This is why we did everything in the beginning. Keep the knee bent. Draw into the belly. Lengthen through the side. And then stretch the leg out. Shoulders are drawing to the back. Find the extension. Keep breathing. Opening up. Again, back body is really working here. And then inhale, come back through the center. It's subtle, but it's not to be taken lightly. Okay, so bend the knees. Arms come back behind the legs. Draw into the belly. Keep the ribs drawing in. Shoulders are drawing into the back. Then lift through the roof of the mouth. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then feet are going to come to the earth. You may or may not like me for this one. Hands are going to come back behind you. Push in and come into Malasana. Elbows into your knees. Draw into the core. Find length. Rise up through the crown of the head. Push the knees into the elbows. Elbows into the knees. Stay with your breath. And then exhale. Touch the hands to the earth. Turn the feet in and bow. Move the head around. Feel, finally, we're in the hamstrings where they're grounding down. Inhale, find length. Open the heart. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Move into your dog pose. So we've worked the deep layers pretty intensely, but in a very subtle way, because the soul energy is subtle. It's not water. Those feelings, you don't see feelings, right? Maybe you see it through a smile, but we don't see feelings. Inhale, right leg goes up. You're going to bend both knees, even out the pelvis, draw the shoulders in, and then inhale the leg straight up. So internally rotate the leg versus externally rotate it. Draw in, feel the breath, and then step the leg through to a lunge. Shift back to your left knee. Don't drop and sink. Stay upright, Skandanyasana. Pull into the core, stretch the heart forward. Then inhale through the center, both feet turn in, and find that wide-legged forward bend. Inhale, find length. Right foot turns out. Bend the right knee, push into the earth. You're going to inhale, rise up. And this is the first time we're standing, so you might be wobbly. Draw into the core, warrior two, lift up, reach back. And then inhale, come back through the center. Find that length, stretch long. Elbow to the thigh, arm by your ear. Or you can bring the hand all the way to the earth. Full breath in. And then exhale, hand to the earth. Bring the knee to the ground. Hips pull back, flex the foot. You're going to push into the earth, wrap the outer hip, draw into the belly. Now, we slowed our nervous system down in the beginning. So if all of a sudden you were like, what just happened? Notice that. Notice the kind of turmoil inside, and then pause. Find where you are in space and time. Maybe accept where you are in space and time. And then just find this half monkey pose. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Exhale, lunge forward, shift the weight forward. Knees grounded, draw the hips towards each other. We're going to stay close to the ground. Pull into that core, inhale, rise up into that low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Ribs are drawing in, shoulders are drawing in. Heart is opening. So it looks peaceful on the outside, right? But feel the power, the capacity to come alive by tuning in to the inner landscape of you more fully, to the nature of your soul. Hands to the earth, back knee lifts. Move it all the way back, downward dog. So feel, connect, accept, breathe, reflect, all those things. Connect to where you are, and then here we go. Left leg's gonna lift, bend both knees. So we're internally rotating the leg and getting that rotation all the way in to that back waistline. Pull into the belly. And then you're just gonna stretch to the other thigh. By the way, this move right here, really good for clearing out the sinuses and breathing more deeply, which is really important right now
to stay curious about your breath. And then exhale, step the foot through. Once the foot lands, you're gonna pivot. You're gonna quarter turn. You're gonna dance with the energy that's there. You're gonna feel that rhythm, Skandinavasana. Find length. Inhale through the center, both feet turn in. Exhale, bow. Lift into the core. Fold into your wide-legged forward bend. What are you pouring forward? Honor it completely. Inhale, find length. You're gonna pivot, knee bends. You're pushing into the earth, grounding. If you need to, bend the knees to get the internal rotation. Draw into that core. Feel the lift. Reach back. Reverse warrior two. And then inhale through that warrior two. Using this energy, staying connected to the nature of you, the core of you, your sacred essence. Pulling in, shoulders to the back. And then reaching into that side angle pose. Deep, full breath in. And then exhale, the hand to the earth. Back heel spins. Internally rotate the leg. A lot of people get stuck because they're just racing ahead. Knee to the earth. Hips draw back. Flex the foot. Now here's the deal. There are times we have to race ahead. To me, our yoga practice gives us permission to actually slow down and yield. Yielding is one of the greatest powers of water. Now, what happens a lot is we try to fix others so they don't feel bad because it makes us feel bad. Nobody wants to feel bad. However, guess where the treasure resides? Buried deep within. There's not a golden pot at the end of the rainbow. Or maybe there is. But there is a golden heart buried deep within you. So find where you are. Connect fully and completely to your breath. And then exhale, lunge forward. Draw in. And inhale, rise up. So feel that movement, alignment. You're in that rotation of staying connected through this part of our being. And as we're connected, arms rise. Come into that low lunge that appears to be full of ease and grace, which it is, yet there is still the effort. There is the storm of the inner body coming alive. Exhale the hands to the earth. Move it all the way back. Downward dog. Move the body around and then come to that center. Breathe into it. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Knees to the earth. You can ripple your way down or you can chaturanga. I feel way more like rippling. Slow motion worm. Which actually I learned how to do the worm, you know, the breakdance move, bend both knees, when I was living in New Zealand. It was our party trick when we were in Queenstown. And one night of too much tequila, my friend totally busted her lip open. It's a funny story. So every time I do the worm on my yoga mat, I am immediately transported back to this little bar in Queenstown, New Zealand, pre 9/11, a very long time ago. But that is what water does, is it transports us. So both knees are bent. Either hold your feet or your ankles, shoulders drawn to the back. You're just gonna inhale, lift through the inner thighs. Okay, just lift through the inner thighs. Keep the spine long, throat open. And then exhale, release the inner thighs. And then inhale, just lift through the roof of the mouth. Sweep the heart forward, roof of the mouth upward, rising. And then exhale, heart mounts down. Inhale, just the legs, just the lower half of the bow. And then exhale, legs anchor down. Draw into the core, Heart sweeps forward. Inhale, opening. Exhaling, bowing. Inhale, lifting. This is really hard to do when I talk. So you're going to do 2 more just on your own. Feel the breath and the movement. And then after those 2, free the legs, free the hands. However you want the hands to go, head's gonna melt. You're gonna breathe into that low belly. Okay, you can wiggle your hips if you need to, but more so breathe into the low belly. You're going to inhale, bring your gaze back to the center. Hands in under your shoulders. I hope you really drank the breath. You allowed it to reach into the belly. Inhale, cobra pose or upward dog, doing the one that serves you, that nourishes you, that allows you to stay present to the internal energy that you're cultivating and connecting with, the nature of your soul. Inhale, rise up and back, downward dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. And then exhale the knees to the earth. Move all the way back into child's pose. And if you just want a softer, more restful child's pose, go for it. Otherwise, toes tuck, knees are wide. Come to your fingertips or not, or just the ridges. Get the arms lifted. Draw into the belly and then wiggle your hips towards your heels. The head's free, but it's not completely disconnected. Big breath in and a big breath out. Then inhale, rise up, whatever pose you were in. Bring your right knee under your hip. Stretch your left leg out long. Foot's in front of the hip. Inhale the right arm up. You're going to lift up and reach over. Inhale up through the center. Just slide your left knee in underneath. Right leg stretches out. Foot's in line with the hip. Feel the connection here. Lift up and over. Inhale, come up through the center. Both knees come underneath your hips. Hands to the earth. Feet are going to go to the left. Knees open wide. Rise up through the sides of the body and bow. It's just a baby pigeon pose, a mini pigeon. Relax to the neck and through the jaw. So when we come towards the end of a practice, that was a little non-traditional in the sense we started reclined. We started in a restoration. What we do is kind of give ourselves permission to peel back the layers and get in touch with our truth. And I'm going to tell you all right now, sometimes your truth ain't so pretty. And it's hard to receive. Except there's beauty in the chaos. Okay, in that commotion, in the storm. Think about it. Rainbows only arrive because there's the combination of the water and the sun. And obviously the air. Exhale all the way out. Ground into the earth. Inhale, rise up. Sweep your feet over to the other side. Find the length, make sure you're internally rotating the leg, draw into the belly, and then just fold over, keeping it simple. As you exhale all the way up. Ground into the earth, lengthen the spine. Inhale, come all the way up. I'm going to turn to the long edge of the mat. Feet are going to go wide. Spine is going to grow long. You're going to feel the hips grounded. Draw into the belly, so feel the connection here. And as you find that length, ribs draw in, armpits rise, throat lifts up. Bring the hands back behind the head. You're going to lift up and just stretch over to the right. Maybe you find the foot. Hi, baby girl. You're going to stretch to the right. Find the foot. Draw in. She's like, will you please come let me out? Lift up and reach over. So Lulu loves to chase squirrels. And we have a huge yard and we have a big window that looks to our backyard, a big patio door, and it drives her bonkers. Exhale out completely. Inhale, come up through the center, which is great and all until you try to go for a walk. Shoulders drawn to the back, drawn to the core, rise up. So that's the idea of our emotions, right? Like we can feel deeply, which is great and all, until we're around a bunch of people. And if we have too much water, we end up feeling what everybody else is feeling and we lose ourselves, right? That's why being empathetic is a gift and it's also a curse, right? That's why it can actually help be a gift to help others bring forward that energy, rise up, lift up, reach over, either hand to your foot or elbow to your thigh. Staying connected and open. We're in the side body. I just got us into the side body differently. If you want to feel water in all of its many forms, you can look through. YouTube's easier because all you have to do is look at the playlists for water and they're all there. Exhale all the way out. Inhale, rise up. Find length and you're going to bow forward. The other day when I did this, I heard the wisdom of my being to back off. Today, it's just calling, please, please, please. So meet yourself where you are. As always, you are in charge of you. And the only way you can take charge is to know yourself, to know your inner self. Because we could look all day in the mirror, and if you're like me, you're seeing those signs of your wisdom showing up more and more and more. And that can make us judgmental and critical and lethargic. But if you can close your eyes and go inward and feel and breathe, take a shower, close your eyes, feel the water connecting, drink water, put your feet in water, whatever it is, go get a pedicure, go splash in puddles. There's so many ways to connect. One more breath. Exhale all the way out. Ground the outer hips down. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, rise up. So you can come lying down if you need the support. Otherwise, come seated. You can also sit with your legs crossed still or sit on your knees. We're going to bring our hands to our lower part of our ribs, okay? And I just want you to feel this part of the ribs drawing in so the back is full. So you feel connected, so you're really moving down and in, okay? Now we're going to go even lower to the belly, and you're just going to think of your pubic bone, your sit bone, your tailbone. But here's the deal. Your head's not doing the work. You're really moving from the core. It doesn't matter which way you're going. And we're just making little circles. Okay, so you could do this like more with the heart. No, we're moving really refined in our energy. So you're gonna go for a total of 8 times, more or less. It's just an arbitrary number for guidance. And then you'll go in the opposite direction. Pubic bone, sit bone, tailbone. Working that deep, 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 deep core. It's called your transverse abdominis. It runs sideways. It runs on the horizontal. So that our deep core, it protects all of our vital organs, can feel supported. Now come back to the center. Pause in the center. If you want, you can make a diamond, or you can just let the palms turn up to be receptive. Close the eyes and feel just connected to this channel of energy from the crown of the head to the pelvic floor. It's going to go through the center of the forehead, the center of the throat, the center of the heart, the solar plexus, the low belly, the pelvic floor. And we're going to just sit and do what's called a light bath meditation. So one big inhale, and just let the breath clear out. If you understand grounding cords, you can drop a grounding cord. You can clear one from earlier. It really depends where you are in your practice. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, no problem. And then you're going to spin a ball of light. I usually like to go not too far away from my head. Okay, you could let it be a bucket. I like for it to be a ball of light. And you're just gonna feel that energy of light. It's translucent. It's like diamond white or cosmic blue, however you want to put it. It's coming from the heavens above, from God, grace, however you want to say it. And it's just that reminder that you're connected to more and that you get to choose the energy you receive. Okay, you get to choose the feelings you want to act upon. We don't always get to choose how we feel, but we get to choose how we respond to those feelings. How we know we need to heal and nourish and nurture. And how we also need to release and let go and realign. So as you just an imaginary ball of light that you can bring it from the sun or the stars, however you want to do it. And once you feel that light, you're going to just envision it pouring through the 7th chakra, right, the crown of the head, the 6th chakra, the center of the forehead, the 5th chakra, the throat, down into the 4th chakra, the heart, the 3rd chakra, the solar plexus, the 2nd chakra, the sacral, and then to the root and down into the earth, just the tiniest little bit. And just keep pouring it, pouring it, pouring it. For those of us who have a lot of water energy or just very empathetic, sensitive, feel all the feels, this is really powerful to restore and recharge. And just breathe whatever comes through, whether you find it corny, whether you find great resistance and discomfort, whether you find great peace and delight. There's no right or wrong way to feel. Big cleansing breath in.
Mommy,
And a cleansing breath out.
Folks.
Okay.
I do not like the folks. And I want it on TV.
Okay, we can go to PBS. You can use iPad. A big breath in and a big breath out. Her greatest superpower is
always interrupting my meditation. It's kind of funny. I think she's just attracted to it. And as you breathe in and breathe out, let you know that energy is recharged. Bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the earth. Reground yourself, reconnect. I highly encourage you to come to the earth for Shavasana, or just sit for a bit longer. I'm going to choose to sit, but I will bring you out of Shavasana. If you're not used to practicing in these subtle ways, or it's just been a while, you really want Shavasana. And if you come recline to the earth, you know what, who am I kidding? Once you come lying onto the ground, if you stay seated, enjoy that choice. If you come to the ground, you might have to wiggle around. Sitting on a hard floor to meditate, not always easy. I always sit in a chair. But you let yourself feel into the energy of the ground. Feel supported, grounded, refreshed and nourished. And feel the breath. When we embark with the nature of the soul, we're becoming the hero of our own story. We gain tools to navigate the energy of our life. We understand the different layers of our being. And we remain committed to being more true to ourselves. It is not a journey for the weak at heart. We have to sit comfortably with the patterns of being a victim or denial. We're the hero for everybody else. We ask for help. And we know when to surrender. Just as you are, enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Enjoy another deep breath in, another deep breath out. Did you forget that what I'm doing right now? Hey, say hi to everybody. You're on camera. Say hi. And just as you are, wiggle your toes and your fingers. This is my life, you guys. Stretch your arms back behind your head. Reach your fingers in another direction. Draw your knees into your chest. If you're seated, just stay with the breath. We'll roll over to one side. And stay there as long as you like, or come all the way up seated. And as you find your seat, you can come sit with me. As you find your seat, sit long. Okay, come tell me.
Mom,
What does your inner self want to tell you?
I do not want to walk the escape cell.
Okay. Epic books.
No. I need to watch and I'm gonna let you know.
And my friends, I thank you. This is actually a perfect time
Mom,
to share
I have to walk the
that when we connect to the nature of our soul, we have a lot of water. No, you don't.
I do not want to walk.
So everybody, should she watch Nick Jr. or Amazon? We have a little deal that we watch PBS Kids.
No, Mom.
So you might be a super mom. You might not be a mom, and that's all good too. You might be a mom to fur babies or your plants. But I thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm going to check out before somebody completely melts down. Because this is my life. You want to say hi?
No.
So I will carry on with the nature of the soul at another time. And if you guys want, if there's anything you want to know, oh my gosh, it's just complete meltdown. If there's anything you all want to know about anything, ask, okay? I appreciate you. See, this is water energy, secretive, hiding, but she's just really being protective. And she has needs, just like we all do. So don't deny yourself what you need. Okay, bye you all. I appreciate your patience and compassion. Can you wave bye?
No.